Hi, Tuccis. It's Roris.
Andy Money.
Two good Tuccis ready to talk iconic friendships of film, television, and beyond. This week, we are discussing and dissecting Lucy, Kit, and Mimi from the iconic 2002 film Crossroads.
And just as a reminder, a good Tucci is that one good friend that has got your back no matter what. Just like these ladies.
Just like these ladies. And Stanley Tucci in like every movie he plays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Every single one.
shout out to Tucci. Can't forget. Gotta give props. Crossroads. Crossroads 2002. Where were you at in 2002?
Watching this movie,
Honestly,
like
yeah.
eating it up,
How
it's
could
what
you
I needed,
not?
really.
So we have 2002, we have Britney Spears in peak and prime as Lucy Wagner. We've got Taryn Manning as Mimi and Zoe Saldana as Kit. The cast goes on and on. We get Justin Long, we get Kim Cattrall, we get Dan Aykroyd. Keeps going. It's lovely, it's beautiful, it's fantastic. This trio. I think,
Hmm.
okay, so 2002, bitch, you want the tea? Second grade. Second grade.
Ew.
I was in second grade, loving this movie. Britney fan from day one, of course, as we all were. And then, top it all off, we kick it off with this little trio, the little gals and the girls from Georgia. Hi, fam.
Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, fam. Love that. Familiar, relatable. Gets this little trio of gals. They're besties. We see them being what, besties for life so far. We assume that they are just
Definitely growing up together.
they did the whole thing. They're whatever time it is, out in some field, some pasture, some wooded area. What are we
The dead of
doing?
night.
Dead of night. We're here. They're just digging holes. I thought this was a
Mhm.
different movie. Just digging holes. They're burying their little treasure box, making a little pact for life. Have you ever done any sort of like time capsule, been a part of like a time capsule treasure box feature moment?
No, because I knew I would never be in one spot long enough to come back and dig it up.
T.
So I always liked the idea of it. Like I remember when Nickelodeon did a time capsule.
Exactly my thoughts. Yeah.
So like like that idea of it, but I don't know. I think especially now with everything being so available, like if you want that hidden nostalgia, you just got to get online and somebody has like a slideshow or a montage or something that will send you back.
Oh,
So
it's available.
you don't even need to worry about it. But um yeah, never did a time capsule, but what would you have put in the box? Like, say we were to do a time capsule or bury something.
Just burying
Well,
things.
because they were wishes, like ultimately, right?
They yes, they kind of had a like a significance. And we find that out later, but we see that they're just putting in their like favorite belongings, whatever. I actually did a time capsule in
Mhm.
elementary school. Couldn't tell you what was in her. Don't know. I feel like we've already passed. They probably dug it up by now, missed the opportunity. We'll never know. It's very Katya trying to figure out what's in the safe box in wherever. Who knows? Probably some toy,
Well,
some
I'll tell you
stupid
what, probably
something.
what was in it. If it was a school one, it was probably a newspaper. It was
Oh yes, yes,
probably
yes.
like a VHS, probably like The Lion King or something.
My heart.
But it was probably I don't know, probably like a cassette tape or like a CD. Like it would be like different pieces of media just like put into it,
Oh yeah,
like the capsule.
just to
But
see what was
definitely
up.
like that
Some
zhuzh.
school memorabilia, some something.
Like a letter from like the class of or whatever.
So hypothetically, are we is this something like Tucci's today are making this little burial moment? We're having a little something, or like what would I put in it today? Is that what we're asking?
No, your baby Jamie Lynn and you're
So I
burying a
wasn't
book.
gonna mention that one. Oh, Jamie Lynn,
Your baby Jamie Lynn, and you're burying your wishes with your friends with baby Kit,
burying my wishes.
and baby baby Mimi. That's a drag name, baby Mimi.
Baby Mimi, who grows up and gets on Drag Race and then becomes Mimi. I'm second.
Not baby Mimi.
Baby Mimi.
Just that's the one. That's the one, baby Mimi.
I mean, welcome out. Welcome to the stage. The multi talented, multifaceted
Uh-huh.
baby Mimi,
Queen at large. Baby Mimi.
multiple title holder.
Bebe Mimi.
That's it. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Bebe. I
Of
don't
the House of
know.
Excellente.
Thank you, callback. Thank you.
Mm.
We love a callback. I don't know what young little, how old were they here? What, like maybe like
Maybe
eight
like
years
11.
old? Okay.
Kid 8. Little kids. I don't know.
Same. So we're just going to cut it in half. We're going to
Old
say
enough to earn a paycheck on set. I don't know.
they're like 9 and 10. We're going to cut it in half.
Mhm.
So what would 9, 10-year-old me? Probably, I mean, thinking of what I probably wanted to be at the time, like maybe it was like a toy microphone. Look at me now. Or like,
Like one of those annoying ones with like the metal pieces that the kids just scream into and it just echoes.
oh, probably a plastic one even. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But maybe like that. I did when I was a kid. I did have like a kid's drum set, so maybe I would have like been dumb and put in like drumsticks, or like
Yes, little Ricky.
it would have been a little something entertain. I knew I wanted to like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what was in my possession that I would have been like this like symbolizes this, but also like it's something I'm okay burying and like not having anymore. So like I don't. What do you put in the box? What are you burying? What's a little young D Money burying? Little kid of the streets.
I don't know. I'm trying to think at like 10, what was I doing?
What weren't you
Like
doing?
what grade is 10? Let's put it that way, because that helps me better.
What grade is 10? I don't.
What grade is 10? Is that like a fifth grade situation?
It's probably like a fifth,
Fourth
sixth
grade?
grade. What is
Fifth
10?
grade, fourth grade? I don't know what
When
I
do you
was doing
start
then.
school? Like 4 or 5?
I don't know, like maybe some Pokemon cards I had doubles of.
You know, that's a good one, actually. What is she symbolizing, though? You're going to be the Pokemon master? You're going to catch them
Mhm.
all?
I was. I was.
I see that.
I had loved a booster pack, so
Okay.
we had the doubles, we had the things we wanted. We had the original 151,
Oh, of
but we
course.
don't need all of like 18 Squirtles.
That's true. But Squirtle, look at us.
But that was also like before there was different artwork and stuff. So now you can have like 18 Squirtles and they'll all be different, but
Very true.
not when it's literally the same card.
You're just getting first editions all around the
I'm just
board.
handing them out like, oh, here you go, and looking back like,
That's how you trade.
mhm.
Level up, mama. Level up.
Also like we talked about it earlier, like being the new kid, like I was like, I don't know, having things was just like a way to like get in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You had to be trendy.
Mhm.
You had to have things that other people liked. You had to have your way to
Mhm.
connect with things. And I mean, at the height of Pokemon,
To
come
buy
on.
these other peers off in the playground.
Well, Mama, what's changed? I suppose.
Mhm.
Look at us now, buying each other off. I guess.
Yeah, so I guess what so Pokemon cards and a microphone. Let's go into the box.
All right, there we go.
Right.
So they're setting to dig up 8 years later. Is their time frame?
All right, so they are 10
Yeah, there we go.
because
See
like
the power
they're
of
like
the
9,
Tuccis.
10 because I was 17 when I graduated. So it can be like 17, 18. I was so jealous of
Exactly.
the 18-year-olds graduating because I was like, "Ooh, you can sign yourself out."
Oh,
Okay.
true.
I was still leaving though. I had periods where like
Oh, you just walk
I
out. What are
would
they gonna
check
do?
in and then I'd be like, "All right, bye." Then just be back before the end of the period.
And what are they gonna do? Oh, I'm
Hmm.
so
Well, like
sorry.
no, like it was cool. Like I left. I would just say like I'm leaving campus to go like do something else.
Just to
But
go
I was
do
really just
something
going to
else.
lunch and like having an extended lunch period, bitch.
Oh, we love that.
And like that was the thing is like you would go and get the lunch during that period. So when you had lunch, you like had already eaten and like everything was so like it was a free whatever.
Oh, I had there was a in the high school years you could take some like prerequisite classes and they would be off campus. They'd be at like the community college or something.
Uh-huh.
So the start of my day, I would take my first 2 classes there, but they were different class lengths and they started at different times. So I would get like a 45-minute break between classes before I had to
Mhm.
be back at the high school. So we surely would just go drive around town. We'd go pick up
A
lunch.
decent minute.
Yeah, just go, what do we want to do? Go walk around the park, do whatever, and then get back to
Mhm.
school. And then we still got our lunch period later. So hello, free, another
Oh,
free
right. And then you're
period.
like, I already did all of this.
Yeah, we're just chilling and chatting, just having a good time. Easy going
Mhm.
day. Oh, we love that. So in this eight
See,
years,
8 years.
a
So
lot
yeah,
changes
they were like
here.
9, 10.
Yeah. And a lot changes in this 8 years. They're making a
Oh,
pact for life
oh,
at
that is
9, 10 years old.
Oh, the person I was, and it's so crazy because I saw a picture of myself of like I was probably like like the awkward age,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the 13, and I don't know. I don't feel like I'm some like crazy attractive person off the Richter scale, but looking at that picture, Mama, I said good for you. Good for all of you. I
Good
am
for everything you got
happy
going
for you.
on.
I am happy for you. Like, it is so crazy. And like
Like what it was compared to what it
what
is?
it was, like I was trying to find my identity, but I had nothing to
Sure.
like leech on to and like nobody to help me out and discover it. And the influences that were like imposed on me weren't me in the slightest. So
Oh, I
like
get that.
one, I'm like one, I think it has something to do with like a church event. Like I'm either getting baptized or it's like a communion thing.
Been there.
And then like I'm in like a blue button up that's like a medium. Not that like I wear like extra extra small, but like just my body frame is not a medium. So like I like wear form fitting things like so like that was not
It
me. The
was just a different
pants were just
style.
huge. The
Uh-huh.
shoes were like clunky. Like I needed to go like serve some tables after this, and
Like
like
walking
they're
around with
also
cement blocks
waterproof.
on your feet. Yeah.
So it was just oh my, the hair was again dyed black, mama. It was dyed, but it was black, but it was like to here like bowl cut almost. It was
Ooh. Ooh.
crazy. It was wild.
Ooh. I mean,
And
I
then
had
also
the
too, like I wasn't like you want to talk about changing a lot. I went through a growth spurt. I know you can't relate, but went through a growth spurt around that age,
this
and
bitch. I
I
can't.
like went from basically like 5'2" to my size now. What am I, like 5'11", I guess?
Couldn't. I don't know math.
I don't know.
Sure.
But all of that, and I also probably like my body was just shaped different. Like like was distributed differently. It's crazy.
Well, that's
Wild.
see, I wish I would have hit the growth spurt because it definitely would have leveled out some things that I had going on and still have going on. It's gotten better because I've gotten a little taller by like an inch or two. But we had the awkward the phase where hey, watch yourself. Rude. We were in the awkward phase where no pants ever were gonna fit me. It just they were not in existence. They had not yet started making the in between sizes. So like you get your standards that go in the groups of twos, but sometimes I needed that to go in a one. So I
Like a
needed
length.
a length or a waist. Sometimes
Oh.
it was either both, but they needed to go in opposite directions of the way that they were trying to make them go. So I needed the waist to be I don't know maybe like so today it's like maybe it's a 28 and then usually it's like a 28 or like a 28 30. But I was a shorty so I needed like a 28 27
Ooh, yeah, they don't do that.
or like a 28 29. It was probably
Mhm.
like the more accurate but like today that's a little
It's like a
easier
bootleg size.
and then getting it in a
Like
fitted
just
or
a
a
sample.
skinny.
Like you got them 28, 29s? Yeah,
Ugh.
okay. Yeah, let's Santi Ellie maybe.
You can find them today. People get a little more accessible, and then I can work with more standard sizes today, so we're fine. But I get you. I feel you.
Hmm.
I feel you. So these women's these gals start becoming women's in very different ways.
Yeah, I don't know when they fell out, how they fell out, why they fell out,
Oh,
but
we
they
could see
definitely
why
fell
they
out.
fell out.
And I don't know if it was like a distinct event or like because they are so different, they just grew apart.
I would see it. They at least give. I feel like if it was the bigger event, we maybe would have got a little bit of that. At least it would have been brought up or mentioned, like in a story while
Mhm.
they're on our little crossroads trip here. So I think it is really they've just really grown apart, and maybe there were little tiffs, and they just realized we're not friends anymore. Maybe there's a little falling
Or
out,
like one season, one summer, Kit goes off to her camp,
and that's
and
it. They
then
just stopped
like it
talking.
just dissolves between the two, like Lucy and Mimi. They're there, and then it just when she comes back, like there's just nothing to come back to.
Anything, yeah.
Hmm.
So we pick back up with Lucy, who is our a little sweet and just kind and
Yes, Brittany.
just virginal as Miss Kit is so kind to point out and just scream at her in the hallway. Kit is this kind of basically mean girl now. She's a little Miss Preppy, Miss Popular. She's a little bit of a
She has an
bully.
audience to
Oh, she
perform
has the
for.
audience. She has a platform and she's not using it in the best ways.
Mm-mm.
And then unfortunately, our little Miss Mimi, our Bebe Mimi, is with Bebe, is with child in high school. And just the thought, I,
Is Bibis having Bibis?
Bebes having Bebes. Was there anyone in your school experience that was pregnant in high school? Did you get that?
Mm.
Mama, for me, middle school. I had there was a gal in middle school and she was okay, so she was a heftier gal. She was a little larger. And so like we sat at what class did we have together? It was maybe science, one of the sciences or something. So it's just like the little 2x2 tables that are just stacked down the row and you're just sitting. There's like two at a whatever. So you have your lab partner. She was like my lab partner and she was really cool and she was really chill. We got along fine. And then one day she just disappears.
Oh
And
my God, I
she's
thought you were going to say toilet baby.
maybe bitch. I don't know. I had no idea. I never would have thought about, never known anything. And then she just disappears for months. And she comes back with Bebe and is telling me all about how she got Bebe. And this was, this had to be, this was maybe eighth grade. Mind blown. Could not comprehend what was happening around me in my environment. One of my peers, a low level Tucci, if you will, we were well acquaintances. And I'm just like,
Tucci Jr.
how did the, where did, the, who did, what? I had, mm. So that was, yep. And then there was a few in high school. We had a few in high school. That was yeah, it was a thing.
I'm trying to think, but like that story has thrown me so off. I don't
Mama,
think so. Not that I know
good
of.
for
But
you.
I also like went to two different schools, so maybe like in like the later half of the first school, maybe,
You just
but
weren't
like
there
in
to
the beginning half of
witness.
the second school, I
Well,
don't
I
know.
didn't even know it all until after it happened. So you maybe same,
Hmm,
maybe same.
I don't know.
Wild. So unfortunately, Bebe Mimi is labeled is labeled not so great things in this film, and is considered to be the likes of trash and other things. Hey, their wording, not mine. This is the character they have set up and displayed for us. And then I'm literally just trying like the whole what is it? Is it prom night? Is it graduation night? Is it
It's something.
they don't it's just a party.
It's just, yeah,
Maybe it was prom?
I don't know. It's the way they set up because like it's like a whole setup for. Well, first of all, I want to back up, and I should have said this
Please
at the
do.
top of the show. This is a movie that falls victim to like I think somebody went through and took all of the movies in the past 20 years and edited them because this is not the movie I remember watching in 2002. So when we rewatched it,
Okay.
I was a little bit thrown off because Henry was thrown in Justin Long, and I knew he was in the movie because
Yeah.
can't forget Justin Long. And so when they have this dance night, it's Henry and Lucy, lab partners. They're going to have a bebe,
They're
and
trying.
they go up to the room, and it's set up as if it were prom because that usually happens on prom night.
I feel like I maybe remember Kit mentioning something about her dress and like prom dress or
Mhm.
something. Maybe it's mentioned at some point. I don't know. But
So like
that scene,
it's not the dance I don't remember correctly, and I feel is edited. It's once they get up into the room and Henry is up there, because up until this point, I remember him kind of being like a good Tucci. Like I told you,
sure.
I was like, it kind of feels like Ducky and Molly Ringwald's character, like
Okay.
Samantha,
Yeah.
like Sam and Ducky. But then, like, they get in bed and she's like dancing for him. First of all, in my nose, I said, not Let's Get It On is playing. And Lucy, I was gonna say Brittany, Lucy's dancing
I
in
so
in the
in
blazer.
while we were just preparing the studio setup and getting ready today, we surely did put on the soundtrack playlist for the film and just we're
Mhm.
getting in the vibes. Of course, we watched it, so we heard it, but she's got some bangers in there. She's got some, especially for the time, they were some good hits.
Oh yeah, she
So,
got they splurged on the royalties with like Madonna and stuff.
you get a lot of good ones. but I had her on shuffle and Let's Get It On came on and I said, next. We're not. This never is
It's
this the I
really
can't.
awkward. It's corny. If you seriously use it and unironically use it,
Especially today. Even
so
even in that day, Mr. Henry.
on this day, on this time, but it gets worse because then she's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, you're my lab partner," and then he just literally just starts begging, and that's where like, I don't remember this,
I
and
unfortunately did remember this.
the reason why I don't remember it because I was cringing so hard for him
Oh yeah.
and being like, "This is so embarrassing. You are embarrassing yourself right now."
Do you want to talk about it? Okay, so we're gonna hop off real quick just for that hop off. The I've watched some behind the scenes stuff in years past. Just the already embarrassment. You have this gorgeous goddess that is one Miss Britney Spears in her blonde hair, tan body, just lingerie out in his coat, looking just gorgeous, beautiful. Not only is he already dark hair, pale skin, looking like a vampire, they throw baby powder on him, covers himself in baby powder.
Not powder.
Ghostly, ghostly gal. The
Yeah,
contrast of them
they
together,
did it like they put one of the sheets over him.
basically,
Mhm.
might as well have. And then you're making him beg, literally beg.
He was literally begging, and that's
First
why I
off,
said, like, I don't remember it because like, I had such, like, a body reaction, like, I feel like I would remember but I also feel like
it
last time I
was
watched it, I wasn't, like, I don't know,
it wasn't
realizing
that
how
good.
pathetic it was.
Well, that's the thing too. I guess like awkward hormonal high school teenage like energy. I never had that. I never had that moment. Maybe it does happen. Maybe that's a straight thing. Like,
The world will never know.
well, his whole reasoning is he doesn't want to go to college a virgin. Sweetie,
Also, that's not her problem.
thank you so much. Not my
Don't
problem. I
what
don't
what's
care.
the saying that Delta Work uses? Like, "Don't make your lack of planning my problem."
Mama, if that's really tea, grinder. What is this? 2002 Craigslist. Well, you could find
No.
if
No.
that's all you're after.
No, if you want tea, you want tea, you want welcome to my face, a throwback,
Welcome
okay?
to my face. Give me
This
the tea.
this is this. Are you an ally? What you know about interactive mail?
What do I know about her?
Do you know about it?
Did I secretly install her? Wait, is this what I'm thinking of?
No, interactive mail was like
Wait.
this was like back in the day. This was like shit I shouldn't even been doing back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
like It's
Mm-hmm.
imagine like a grinder or like even like Adam for Adam or
Mm-hmm.
like Sniffies or something like that where like people meet up, but it's all like on a phone line. Like you do it over the
Wait.
phone and like you leave messages, like
Did they
broadcast messages,
they
and like
had
you
the
play
late
through the
night
messages.
they had the 3 a.m. commercials, right?
Kind of, but you didn't talk to an operator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
it
yeah,
was to
yeah.
meet up with people in your
It
area.
was almost like a dating service.
You would like private message them by sending them a voice message.
Yes.
And I would just listen to all of these, like, daddy talking.
I did
Like
it. I did
like,
it.
it was the Wild West.
I did
And
it.
then, like, you get, like, an hour free through, like, a phone number, and then, like, you gotta switch it up, but they also had payphones back then, so you
Not
do the
you
math.
not you going to the payphones to call the daddy services.
To listen.
Just to be hey, I am Bebe. I'm calling to listen.
This is baby me on the line.
Yeah, I'm calling
Oh,
from the corner of
yeah, so, like,
not the gas station, the
that's where
payphone.
Justin Long needs to go. He needs to get on the voicemails.
There's so many, and I get
Get
there
on
were
that
less
hotline
options.
bling, mama.
Okay, okay. I I can't stand by the scene. I don't. It's not.
It's sad, it's
Why are we
pathetic.
begging? Even even and like you do you. It's just not for me. But even like even in a today thing, if that was just like a kink or something, like maybe to a degree, just expressing how much you want something. But if it comes down to straight begging, no,
No, mistress does not
no,
like
no. Don't do it. You're gonna throw me. It's gonna become a whole new thing. You're killing it. It's not for me. It's killing the vibe. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
you're not helping
No,
your
and
situation at
no, because
all.
then I'm going home, and not to tell everybody, but to tell everybody on the way home.
Oh,
So, like,
I've got a loudspeaker attached to the top of the car and a megaphone
Blues
out the back
Brothers.
window.
Blues Brothers,
Uh
bitch.
huh. I'm calling out the
He
screen
ain't
name.
shit. His mama ain't shit. His daddy ain't shit. His grandma ain't shit.
Ain't ever gonna
I
be
repeat,
shit.
his dog ain't shit.
The whole ride home. And then you're taking
Mhm.
the detours, you're cutting through neighborhoods.
Oh, you're doing the cuts. Uh-huh.
hmm It was only
And
a 10-minute drive, but it took you four
you're
hours.
doing 3 lefts to make sure you're not getting followed, all of it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We know the tricks of the trade. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know the tricks and the trade, bitch.
Speaking of trade, this dance moment is
Uh,
also where we meet one Mr. Ben.
yeah,
When Mr.
on the
Ben
shredding.
just go and just to fill in. It's not his
Mhm.
band. He was just filling in.
It's just gigging.
But we also find out allegedly, he's what, an axe murderer? That's a much. He's not an axe murderer. But apparently he spent some time because he did some damage. And now you're just hired to play at this high school gig? What world are
Oh,
we
you don't
living
ain't
in?
nobody doing background checks.
Not for the talent. So I don't need to know the business because if I start looking into the business, bitch, ain't nobody getting hired.
They said, "Where's your ID?" He said, this face is my ID, motherfucker."
Free entry. Thank you so much. But he is beautiful though.
Good for him.
He
But
is
again,
beautiful.
good for him, good for you. Love a tie.
Good for him. Good for you. You can acknowledge. Why is
Oh,
it that second time today we're having this conversation?
oh
I
yeah,
sent you.
go
I
get
sent you.
yourself.
I sent you some
What I
menses
say,
earlier.
lovely silhouette, gal.
The silhouette.
Love the silhouette.
It is nice. It is real nice.
Oh,
It is real nice. So, of all people, and I guess it does make sense. It is Bebe Mimi. That is Bebe Mimi has held on to this pact for 8 years. I'm not
what else
remembering
is she holding
this,
on to? Not
Bebe.
politics, not birth control.
Apparently not. Dang. More on that later though, because that whole moment, that's just I don't know about that.
That's shoehorned.
Sweet love, sweet love. So she somehow convinces, I guess just we've talked about this before. You've not had that long connection. You've not been in the space to be like you couldn't make the pact to say, "Oh, we're going to dig this up in 8 years because in 8 years you may not be there."
Oh, 6 months, I'm gone.
So you can't even relate to this in any capacity, but I'm just not remembering that. I'm not going to remember something I did 8 years ago that I, of
Oh,
one
right.
of the many holes I dug in the ground when I was a child. Are you kidding me? You know how many times children bury things? But then Mimi, Bebe Mimi, is going around and finding, so you coming or not? And they're both just like, what are you talking about? Coming where? What are we doing? Midnight by the tree. That's so sketchy. Why was
It,
it's
yeah, it's a little weird, especially like you don't really know the person anymore if you're acting like that towards each other.
you've
So
definitely
like,
you've fallen out.
what is she trying to do?
Are you going? You. Put yourself in, we'll say Miss Lucy's shoes.
Now, no. Back then at their age, probably yes, because I was stupid.
Well, if they had said no, then there was the movie. The
Hmm.
rest was still unwritten.
Well, also too, like they all show up, they do their little thing, and then they all go home, and then like their plans that they all kind of had set in motion kind of like fell apart, or they all decided to do something at the last minute.
Go
So
figure.
then when Kit goes to leave, like everybody shows up.
hmm
Or when Mimi goes to leave, Kit and Lucy show up. Do you think that they would have showed up if they didn't have something better to do?
Oh, I think we saw exactly that. They had no intentions of showing up
Mhm.
until things fell through, and they were just like, "Well, yeah, I guess I can. I guess I will."
Yeah, to like see her off and then go. But like I
Also,
don't
get
even think they would
Lucy
have
just.
showed up to seen her off.
Oh no, no. They weren't even going to go to the grave site. They certainly were not giving up their morning. I'm not getting up early to get. No, girl.
Mm-hmm.
If I could text you, I'd send you a quick text. Be like, best wishes. Hope you have a great trip.
Like again, I probably would have gone on the trip because I was young and stupid, but probably not now because I they cut to spoiler alert, the budget, there is none. So
Oh, but
that
in
would have
the
been my
Waffle
first
House.
question. I'd have been like, how are we paying for this? But back then I'd have been like, we'll get money on the way. Fuck it.
Well, as we see. So, okay, first off, my sweet Southern heart misses a Waffle House. Let me tell you. I think we've talked about this before,
Mm-hmm.
but the waffle girl, I saw it and my mouth started salivating. I know exactly what it smells like, exactly what it tastes like, and I need it in my life. The closest one is too far right now, so ideal. But get, of course, Lucy, Miss Little Sweet Precious Nerdy Lucy, just being like, how are we? Does anybody plan anything at
Mm-mm.
all? Everybody's just throwing cash on the table. This is what we got. I think even today, I'm saying yes. I'm going on the road trip. It depends the people 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also at this time, she didn't quite know that there was an alleged axe murderer, driving the car. But I don't. I still would have said yes. I don't know. At least I'm safe. Let me
Mm-hmm.
stay on his good side, and I'm protected, sweetie. Ain't nothing happening to me. Just like ain't nothing happened to Lucy, because he caught the eye. He said, "Hi, hello, hi, hello. How are you?"
Decent Mitch.
It's you too Mitch.
We don't talk too much about like the actors and actresses in the show, but we just talk about the characters. This movie made me feel so sad for Britney Spears.
Uh, but
Like you
talk
see
about
the
some
little threads
foreshadowing.
of Britney in Lucy,
Oh yeah,
and it's so sad because you don't see that anymore. And I'm not talking about like on social media or anything. It's just like that light is kind of been dimmed or it's been replaced or it's been like whatever you want to say. It's not the same.
there's some
And not
depth.
saying like in a conspiracy theory type of way. It's just like the little giggles and stuff. Like the things that like made her like cute and personable. Like you don't see that. Like that got stripped.
It's kind of like the youthfulness, and I don't want to say youthful as in like she's lost her youth, but it's like the mentality of this, like that youthfulness. Like,
Playfulness.
yeah, there's some of that has been lost, unfortunately, and sadly makes sense because we see what's happened in recent years, and like Miss Brittany, I am so sorry for you. Miss Mama makes my heart break, but I miss this Brittany. Her little quirky, little dorky moments. Her like she's so adorable. She's so cute. She's so fun and personable, and like we get a little bit of that now, but she is a very different woman these days.
Hmm.
Very,
And
very
I
different
read her
woman.
book and she said that like she method acted Lucy and it took a while to like get out of it. And I said, all right, Joanne Germanata.
But I still see Brittany
But
creeping in because she surely did.
I see more of Brittany on screen more times than I think Lucy. So you just don't get that much anymore. So that's why it's like I don't know if it's Lucy or Brittany, and that's why we don't see it. But some of that light is switched.
We need when Brittany returns from her hiatus, we need some more films featuring women as Britney Spears. Rotated around.
Mhm.
I think we would love it.
I have another a question, and that is the
Yes.
convertible that they drive. Is that the same one from Tuong Fu? Like the same, not like the same car, because that's like what, like a almost a 10 year, 10 years later. But
Sure.
is maybe it's like the same vehicle, like make and model, not
I
the
mean, why
actual
not?
car,
I could see
not
it.
the picture car.
They needed the vibes.
Hmm.
He was very fond of his classic
They said,
car.
"Oh, three drag queens going cross country. We got the car for you."
That's exactly what it was, essentially. So
Hmm.
maybe Bish, maybe it's a little classic piece. Who says it's not the same
They
car? Highly
said they
doubtfully,
they said
but
Derek Barry, Naomi Smalls, Lila McQueen getting that back seat.
you're right.
Raven, you're driving.
Whoa, that's way too close of perfect casting, actually. That's okay.
I don't want anybody else to steal it, but I really want to get through all of the Disney Channel original movies and recast them with every drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race.
I
I don't think there's enough characters, but like the hits. And like for instance, like I remember Don't Look Under the Bed.
Oh, love.
Can you imagine Bob the drag queen as the boogeyman?
Yes, yes, I can.
Thank you.
Or
Decent
even, of
me.
course, just because it would make sense as well, one Miss Evie Oddly.
Mm-hmm.
Do a killer, little creepy, something like that. Oh, there's options.
Oh yeah, and so for all these decoms,
Oh, I'm
are
here
you
for this
kidding me?
idea. I am
And like out
here.
of drag too, can you imagine Naysha Lopez as Ryan Merriman in Smart House
I can now.
with like Ben de la Creme as Pat, like the
Oh,
Smart House?
yeah, no
Mhm.
doubt. No other option. Absolutely
Mhm.
perfection.
So,
Yes. All right, let's get to writing. Let's get to write a script, write a presentation. We'll start some production.
um, so are they just friends again a day into their trip? Because
I
they
think
went from literally screaming obscenities at each other without being provoked to like, oh, we're chill now.
I think we see a little bit into this trip that that is not the case. That they
Mhm.
were really putting on their they were putting their best foot forward for this adventure and really trying to be on the same page, and then tensions start rising as they
Oh.
might.
Oh yeah, well, what happened on the car? Like something blew?
What was it? It was the radiator or the something.
I don't know,
Miss
something
Lucy knows.
expensive.
Lucy knows.
Lucy knew, and she knew how much parts and labor should it be.
And she was not wrong
Hmm.
at all. This is why you need a good gal on your side.
But
Uh,
by then they had made it to Louisiana.
but see, when they start, everyone decides to do this for their own independent personal reasons. This is not
Mhm.
meant to be a group trip. This is not a friend trip.
Oh no.
Bebe Mimi's trying to get to California for an audition. Kit is trying to get to California to see her boyfriend, her fiance. And then Lucy's just trying to stop off in where, Colorado or something,
Arizona.
Arizona, to see her long lost mother who abandoned the family when she was a little bebe herself. So
Bebe Luce.
I think going into it, everyone's really just trying to tolerate to get their own.
They're just trying to like have the little corner.
And then, as life does and happenstance be in movies be written, things happen along the way to cause more tension and then to ease the tension and to bring them closer and to, do what the Tuccis do.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think they do each get their own separate point of kind of coming back into the friendship, if you will, of being like, oh no, this is kind of, yeah, I want this again. This is good. Why did this stop? We see that a couple of
Hmm.
times.
But I think because they have that whole like competition song contest thing in New Orleans, and then that's
Love.
like kind of like breaks the floodgates down, and then like kind of puts them back to like where they were, I guess, before they left off.
That is a big, yeah, big moment of connection for like them. We get to see Lucy being a supportive Tucci and taking over when Mimi just can't do it. She gets too nervous, and I don't know why we thought it was ever going to go any other way. Let's be honest. Why they ever thought they were putting one Miss Spears as a background singer, a backup singer. She don't love
Hmm.
herself, but she gets her moment to shine. Then yeah, I because that is when it is even Mimi that says, "Can we I know we're in tense moments right now, but we really need this. The group needs this. So can we, let bygones be bygones and just put things aside and do what we need to do for the night?" Yeah, by them having this like celebratory moment together, it really they see how they can help each other and they see the supportiveness and just how much fun they can have if they just put the bullshit aside and stop being little divas or little whatever they're being, because some of them are Miss Kit, if you will.
It's definitely like a moment that is put in, I kind of feel just because it's that type of movie. But
Oh, you mean a
so,
promotional moment for one Miss Britney Spears? Exactly. Yeah.
but also too, like the whole reason why Tara Manning's character is going out there is to do like what she's trying to do on stage and she can't. And they're still continuing that aspect of the trip. Like, are you sure? Because like she's not. I don't know. That just doesn't make any sense.
Not exactly. Yes. They never
Hmm.
really touch on why they continue at that point, other than Kit still wants to get there. They still got to get Lucy to her destination.
Hmm.
And then I guess Ben is just going to California anyway. Like, wasn't that his whole thing? Like, he was just going. So that's how the whole
I
thing.
have no idea.
I, to throw it back for a second, if you find out the person driving the car is the murderer, because they didn't know at first until they had already been on the
Oh,
road for a
yeah.
minute. They find out in the bathroom where they're trapped, and literally this could be the last night, last few moments on Earth for them. What are you leaving? Are you carrying on? How important is your motive, your mission, your independent, your wants and your needs in this moment?
I don't know, because I feel like they this isn't the first time that they were alone in a hotel room with him.
And even just
So,
being in the car with him. Like he could just drive that off a cliff.
well, I mean, like, if he had like, he had opportunities sooner, so why would it be different now?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So it feels like it's all like based off of vibes. Like if you can tell like something's about to go down, like obviously not stick around, but like if you wouldn't have known, it's like when people hide cauliflower in your food.
What?
Like if you weren't told different, would you really have known? And then like once you see that bag of cauliflower or I don't know, a wrap sheet, you're like, "Oh my God."
Oh no, you
So,
made me eat
yeah, like
healthy.
does it really make a difference? Because like
Yeah.
it's still like in your belly.
Well, it makes a difference for Miss Kit, sweetie. We see them get up to
Mhm.
the grocery store, which, by the way, for those who have seen this A Star is Born grocery store, when one Miss Stefania Gaga is sitting there with the peas on her hand, belting it out in the parking lot. I caught that. I like that moment. But
Um,
they go inside and Miss Kit says, "No, no, no, you're not leaving me here in this car with this murderer, not on this night." This like goes wait for me.
mhm.
I think it might. I'm not leaving because at that point I already see like you're not after me. This isn't a whatever thing. But also he surely is right up my alley and my type. And if I'm one Miss Lucy, oh I it would not have taken as long as it took, and I will just say that. I will just leave it at that. Okay.
But I also said, like, right here in front of everybody on the beach,
Right
all up in this
here,
open window,
right now, in front of God and everybody.
on these white sheets.
Everywhere.
Uh
Anywhere.
huh. So
What a moment. Good for her. Good for her. Good for him. Good for her.
for everybody.
Back to this karaoke moment though. They slay. They get what they need to fix their car to carry on their road trip. And I think their next stop, right, is Britney's. They
Yeah, Arizona.
they
Yeah.
get to Arizona to drop off Miss Spears, Miss
Yeah, so
Lucy.
they literally just drop her off. She hops out with her bags, knocks on the door, and
After
fucking
how many
Samantha
years?
opens up the door. I mean, Kim Cattrall opens up the door,
Ooh, yeah.
and
But snatched, sweetie.
s- she said, "Oh,
To the nines, to the
I can't."
tens, tens, tens across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And then she like huddles her in before the HOA sees her, right? Slams the fucking door. And then cuts to like a couple other scenes, but then they cut back to them. So awkward. Like Lucy's looking at pictures of
Oh, I
these
have
little boys.
brothers.
Like my favorite is she goes, I have brothers? And then she doesn't say it, but she goes, no, I have sons. Like she doesn't say
Basically.
it, but like that's what it's like, no, you
Basically.
don't have brothers.
The look like on again, perfect casting. I don't know who else could have done what she did with this whole little moment in this role.
It's like 15 seconds.
Literally a little fit like yes, she has one scene,
She answers the door, she
three
answers the
camera
phone,
angles,
she shuns Brittany.
overdone with. I think we need to have a talk. Uh, cut to one Miss Spears looking like a drown harassed rat at the
Oh my
door
god.
of this motel.
Full first 15 minutes of FIFO Goes West just happened to her.
Like, sweet, did you call a cab? Did you walk from wherever this is to wherever? What
She
happened?
was probably in one of those moods where she's like, I don't deserve a cab. You know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean because it's all too relatable. I will walk in the
I
rain.
deserve to be walking right now. Like,
I don't even deserve these huge duffel bags. Give me my stick and my bandana and my
she's just,
sloshy shoes and just let me walk the sidewalks of wherever I am. Yes. Yes.
mm-hmm. Because it's in Arizona. It's a hot rain.
It's not comfortable. You can't
Mm-hmm.
breathe.
Because then the heat's coming up as the cool is coming down, and you're just stuck in the middle of this atmospheric sandwich. You are literally the meat.
I felt like my lungs just filled with fog. Like it was, I don't, it's not good. I don't want it. But this is where we see the Tucciship, this trio, really kind of reconnecting again. This is the first moment.
Na, 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 na.
I used to think.
You know, you get first of all, what little hotel are they staying at where they just have a grand piano? Accessible. That's not in the
And this,
movie?
but isn't it in, it's, no, it's not it's just like this big
Yeah, like
glass
a little,
room.
little offshoot, little
It looks like
like
it should be a
it
car
looks like a
dealership.
banquet hall.
It looks like a car dealership, like a little like
Basically.
80s, 90s car dealership. Yeah. But good for him. And I will say, as someone who's into the musicals and the things and the musicalities, not musicals and movies, but just if this man
Oh, he's
is
playing the long
big,
game.
if some man who I let into my writings and was just like, oh, yeah, this is something I wrote, and then he felt the need or the inspiration to go write a piano piece to accompany that and then gift that to me, flooded.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get that wet sign and call housekeeping.
This became an aquarium, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It is
It, the
over.
Atlanta Aquarium, like we're about to put a big ol'
You were worried
beluga whale up in this bitch,
a
and
great
it's gonna
white.
swim. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were worried about in front of the window on the beach, mama, on top of this piano,
In the pianto.
in the
Majeri.
piano, on the piano, around the piano, on the bench, against the wall, on the ceiling, wherever.
Uh-huh.
It's
Play these ivories.
over.
Mm-hmm.
He really did that. And I will fall into the fantasy that that he wrote that.
Oh yeah. Could you get your song credit in the CD booklet?
Oh, sure, sure, sure. That's
They
enough
said
for me.
they said axe murderer.
Productions. Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's Murder Inc.
Iconic.
That's
Iconic.
2002. You want to talk about 2002?
You want to talk about 2002? There was a lot going on in the early 2000s. Notable, worthy.
Just
Oh,
the changes.
yes. Oh, yes. So we rekindle. We're still carrying on this road trip. Now,
Hmm.
Lucy
And
has no reason.
going strong with the product placement. I know we haven't talked about it, but there's like herbal essences up
Oh,
in that hotel room that they were like, "Oh, he's a killer," and like the bottles in the background.
full commercial.
Uh-huh. And
Mhm.
then like after the whole karaoke thing, the competition, they're singing and talking and like having a good time. And then like they start getting into like serious conversation and they're drinking Pepsi, just regular Pepsi,
Just regular Pepsi. Hmm.
and just a few other things going strong, but
Bitch, some of the commentary in this first round of karaoke, when Bebe Mimi is at the mic trying to get it together.
just
Oh,
some
it's
of it is
past their
wild.
bedtime.
Just the
Is
things
she
that they're saying to
pregnant?
each other.
Like it's
Hmm.
just yelling out and the okay, no, you're not helping anybody, sweetheart. I get the vibe of this bar. If you love them, you let them know. If you hate them, you let them know. But like, have some tact.
Hmm.
Have some, and they really showed out. So what? Made the most money up in that beach. So what? Anyway,
And
yes,
like how
and
they passed around that spicy pickle jar.
oh yes, I'm about a
They said
spicy pickle.
they did the Vicky Vox. They said you can make change, but don't take.
No making change. We'll take the
No.
20 and the 50 and the 100. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And then
Yes,
Dan Aykroyd just shows up.
it keeps showing up.
Like Britney's been prank calling him this entire movie,
Not the prank.
heavy breathing on the phone,
Prank
asking
call
what
it.
kind of scary movies he's watching,
Huh?
hanging up, and he finally gets whiff of where she is, shows up, and just Aykroyd's about.
It just ruins it all.
Literally just puts her treats her like she's 12, and I think you see everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but like you see the dynamic between like Zoe Saldana's character and her mother and like how it's volatile
Yes.
and very competitive, and like you see the dynamic between Lucy and her dad, and it's very like controlling, and that was just like triggering to watch because he was talking to her like a dog.
Not, not. It was. like a toddler, like so many are just wrong. And we know that it stems from the whole situation of Lucy's mom walking out, blah blah blah. But her finally politely getting him together. Don't make me do what she did. That's exactly what you're doing, sir. You are doing nothing but harm for everyone involved. It's so I'm a very different person than one Miss Lucy, and I'm not dealing with it. I had situations like that with figures in my life as a teen, and I'm not taking it. You want respect, that's a two-way street, honey. This is a mutual thing. If you think you have demand and control, that's no, no, no. That's not for me. We can speak to each other. The way he talked down her, I don't get it. I do get it, but I don't get it. I get the perspective they portray. I'm just walking away. No, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't have time and energy for this. I'm trying to live my life, and I surely did. Look at me. I'm on the
Also,
other
too, like
coast, just like Lucy.
being the friend and not saying a word either. Like they were just literally just in the taxi with their head down, not doing anything. And
Just
Brittany
like
full on
shifty
jumps
eyes.
out of that bitch.
And then they were surely there to support in that moment
She tucked the chin and she rolled out of there.
across his body,
Mm-hmm.
making a point. Uh huh.
And then she got her man
Oh,
just
didn't
finger
she?
blasted right there on Hollywood and Vine.
In
Oh,
front of
excuse me,
God and
Hollywood
everybody.
and Highland.
Thank you. Thank you. Accuracy. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
I that, but I surely would have done the same thing. I would have done it a lot sooner. But yes, this is where I want to be. This is the state I want to be in. This is the environment I want to be in. This has the career that I can do that I want to be in. This has the man that I want.
So would you have even gotten in the taxi? Because
No,
once the abductor moves you to a second spot, your
no,
chances of survival are very slim.
absolutely not. He would have, the second he showed up, I would, what are we doing?
You start taking the steps back.
And he started, oh, I had to dip into the savings and nobody told you to.
Yeah, nobody told you to come back.
Nobody asked you to do that.
On my tuition?
I told you I was fine. I told you that everything was good. I let you know where I am. But that was not an invitation, sweetheart. That was an update. That was a thank you for your time. Thank you for your concern. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. I would have, right now, turn around. You could stay if you want to, but I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm staying here,
Mm-hmm.
at least until further notice. So, no. The bags would not have been packed, especially the man. He walks in on her packing her bags. What are you doing? Where are you going? I get his being upset. I would have been upset too. Oh, don't be like that. Don't be like Ben. Don't be like that.
Yeah.
Nah, he had
In
right
a
to be like
parallel
that.
universe, Lucy has to look for a job once staying in Hollywood,
But of course,
and she ends up in this underground cabaret
where are we going?
run by Tess.
Not
Can you
this again.
imagine?
Not this again.
Can you imagine? It's the sequel to Crossroads, but it's really just burlesque, the first burlesque, not a sequel to burlesque. It's the exact story, and nobody says a word.
It's the prequel, the
Like
secondary
Crossroads
prequel.
is the prequel to burlesque, but they recast it like Becky.
No, they
But
did that thing. They had the original Crossroads. They had this the sequel Burlesque, and then they said we need a 1.5.
uh-huh,
We need a little in between here.
little something. We need a jacket here.
So in this parallel universe, then where in the in between is Tucci still playing Nigel? Is it still his role? Do we get do we get a new role for Tucci in the Crossroads universe?
Oh, in the Crossroads,
Who is he? Who is he playing in the Crossroads universe? Who is Tucci?
he is somebody who gave Lucy a what is it, like a grant or like a scholarship to her to
That
go to college.
is
Uh-huh.
very yes. He was
Mhm.
maybe one of the professors,
Yeah,
even.
like she wrote an essay and like he selected it or something.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a shorter little cameo than Miss Cattrall had even. Maybe it's just the phone call where all you see is this part of his face. And the
Uh-huh.
phone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's
He
perfect.
said approved and that's it. Everybody lost their job that day.
Stamped. Approved.
Mhm.
Done. Thank you so much. Okay. We have three very different gals here who kind of combine. They get their likenesses back by the end of this. But again, everyone's on their own mission. Everyone has their own thing they want to do in life, and everything's got who. So it is. We're getting there. Have you given it the thought? Who is who? Who will play her? who do you relate to of this trio? Who do you see the Tuccis as? I
I
feel like this
don't
one's a
know.
little
I
more
think he would be the
difficult.
closest to the axe murderer guy.
Oh, we're including him,
I know he's not on like the table, but I
the
like
Rasta.
I really don't see like I don't know because like even if we stop, all right, well, put it this way, like even if we stopped being friends, I don't see us reacting to each other the way they reacted to each other. So like
No,
even in that way, I don't see that. Even in like the positive way, I still don't see it. Like because you really don't get much of say like of who was Zoe
Kit.
Kit.
Yes.
Like you don't get much of Kit on her friendly side. You just
No.
know like her demons and like that she can be a bitch, but like you don't
Correct.
get like the third part, the redemption part, or like the reason why I'm a friend with you because like you
Hmm.
don't get that. So it's hard to relate that to you. Like I wouldn't say you're like studious, like you would have been like Lucy once she had her Sandra D transformation at the end, like you would have been that from the forefront.
Accurate. Yeah.
And then like Kit, like I don't know. I don't want to say she's very like in the moment and like is not worrying about tomorrow. She's just trying to figure today out
Oh,
still.
Mimi, you mean? Yes.
Oh yeah. And
Yes, yes,
then
yes.
so that's just what did I say, Kim? I was Kim Control, maybe.
I think you still said kid again, but I got you. I do what you were
Okay, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. So
I I kind
it's
of, and
hard.
again, it's always on a spectrum, and I kind of put this one on like a Venn diagram essentially. You know, there's some overlap. For myself, if we're restricting it to the trio, it's got
Hmm.
to be somewhere in the in between of Bebe Mimi and Lucy.
Yeah.
It's somewhere, it's in there because yeah, I'm not too studious, but I did grow up in some of the lesser than like nicer neighborhoods and kind of had parts of that and certain stigmas and everything of that nature. So like I have some relatability there,
Andy had a razor cut.
even recently, in recent years. So what? Come for me. So I feel like it would be somewhere in between that spectrum. But then for you, you're like a little bit in the middle. There's like a little bit of all of them, but you're kind of pushed upwards a little bit towards Kit, maybe in some areas.
I could see that.
You're a little bit
Because
more.
it's like
You're like
if you're
more
not
Kit
my
and
friend,
Mimi.
I'm not gonna like scream in your face, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way. But you
No.
can see she does treat her friends well.
Yes.
Well, like I should say
Well,
that's the
yeah.
reason why they are friends with her, but like you see that there is a contrast of you're my friend and you're not my friend.
Oh, absolutely. She lets it
Hmm.
be. She wears the heart on the sleeve. She lets it be known. She
Hmm.
knows what's going on. So okay, okay. It's always a spectrum. Isn't everything just a spectrum? But then this is already an on and off Tucci ship from the get go. We think it's set up to be a lifetime Tucci ship. We understand that's never happening. They depart for 8 years. They reconnect for a couple weeks.
Hmm.
Right now, for me, this is giving very reason between a reason and a season Tucci ship.
Hmm.
It was rekindled for a reason, and then they kind of found that vibe again. But I think I don't. It's not. They're not. It's not
Only way it
regular.
would be a lifetime is if they could repair it after every falling out, because there is going to be a falling out. And it whether it's intentional or like again they just drift apart, like you're going to have to continuously like make up or reach out and that gets exhausting over time.
Well, and we
So
see if they're all staying in. Well, they don't even all stay in California. The two go back, and Lucy stays with the man. So that already adds. We know that struggle of
mm,
just cross country communications and staying in touch. But look at us now, good Tucci's, grand Tucci's. I think in ways they could stay in touch, but it really just depends because they're all going in very different directions. They have very different plans.
yeah, that's way different. So it's probably going to be it's more than a season because we're come around like a second time already, so it's got to be a reason.
Hmm.
And just because they repaired things this one time doesn't mean it's going to like set for the rest of it.
Or at least they
So
can stay communal and
mhm.
just cordial. So, like, maybe Lucy, I could see Lucy and Kit being at the same event at some time and like they're gonna talk, they're gonna share a drink and have some laughs and blah blah blah. And then again, like we've talked about before, that's it until they cross paths again.
Yeah, it's
There's
not
not a
aggressive
phone
like it was
call.
before.
There's not a, oh, let's get lunch, let's get dinner, let's no, it's just it was great to see you.
Mhm.
Best regards.
They're not trying to make plans that they have no intention of even acting
Correct.
upon as
Correct.
pleasantries.
Just the pleasantries. But they'll stay. Yeah, they're the little reasons I see that.
Mhm.
So, any final thoughts on this Crossroads Tucciship, the Lucy Kit, the Mimi, the Bebe, the Ben, the Dan Aykroyd, the Kim Cattrall?
It's movie is from 2002, and the fact that it is just now coming to streaming in this day and age
This
is
part,
baffling to me. So, I don't know. I've always invested in physical media. I didn't buy this DVD when I should have because it tripled in value once Britney's book came out.
hello.
But now that it is streaming and a lot more accessible to watch, congrats.
If you haven't, you got to get into it at least the
Oh yeah, it's
once.
like again, I just don't know what's up with these movies from 20 years ago, within the past 20 years that are just completely have been re-edited from when I last saw them. Like these little gnomes and these little hands just cutting up the film reels.
Right. Has could have nothing at all to do with just your own memory's sake of just how you may or may not choose to remember
Absolutely not.
things. Of course, yeah, absolutely. I even for being 20 years old, it's still she's solid. She's not like some of the ones we talk about where it's like, she's of her time. Like in some ways, sure, costuming, soundtrack, other things, of course, but she's solid. You can't go wrong with Miss Britney Spears. You cannot go wrong with Miss Zoe Saldana. The cast keeps casting. She keeps giving. If they want to do a sequel, let's do a sequel, Mama. I'll watch it. I won't like it, but
What
I'll
that
watch
sequel
it.
be though?
Brittany is now married to
It can't be
Ben.
another road trip.
They got 3 kids. It's loose. It's Kit and it's Mimi road tripping back to California from wherever they're at to go see me to see Lucy and Ben and visit the family, and then just having a little outing. It's not good. It's not good.
Mm, yeah.
They're going to the burlesque bar just to go see the
And then,
show,
oh my goodness, and
just to
Brittany's not
revisit.
even in it because it's direct to video and it's Jamie Lynn as Lucy.
You just killed it.
Boycott that movie now.
Mm-mm. Blacklisted. We're not doing this. All right. On that note,
Excuse me.
thank you so much. Thank you. Uh, Thank you for listening on your favorite podcatcher and watching on YouTube. If you are, as always, you can follow along with more of the antics of the Good Tuccis on TikTok and Instagram at Good Tuccis, and check out the Linktree for the access to all of our additional content, companion content, our Discord community, blase, blase, blase.
Yeah,
I think we
as
got
you
it.
said. So until next time.
And all of that. Bye, Tuccis.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.